Welcome back to the studio, everyone. I am Eric C. Jackson. As you may or may not be able to tell, I am finally settled in a new location. It has taken me a little bit to get settled in, but I think most of the unpacking is done. I got the last room organized pretty much where I want it to be. So right now I'm kind of in between places where I want to do the podcast, which right now I am in my living room, almost in the kitchen. So I'm going to figure out how I want the lighting set up, whether I want to record out here or in the back room there. But obviously, this was a long time coming, and I just want to say first, I thank God for just being able to move and get, find a place that I really like, and that I can afford. And it's really a blessing because, gosh, the last, 5 years, I was sharing space with roommates, and it was more difficult to get things done. But obviously, less expensive, but I mean, it just got to a point 2-3 weeks ago that I felt it was time to move, and I ended up looking around. Crazy enough, my first property tour, it was terrible. it was really bad. And so I widened my search, and I found this place, and I had a property tour of this place and the surrounding, where we are. And I just really felt like this is where I would, like to be. And I mean, obviously it was more expensive than I anticipated to move. But now that I'm here and I'm going over my finances, I think it's going to be okay. Now, obviously, I shared with you guys before, especially on my social media profiles, that I planned on moving in this fall. So I'm, a few months early, which means that I still need more furniture, just the odds and ends, and then also paying off a few accounts. I still have to do a couple of accounts, pay those off. But other than that, I think that I shuffled everything around as far as resources, and I think that it's gonna be fine. Now, what I did do the past 3 months is, as I probably shared with you guys before, is that I got a promotion on my day job, and that allowed me to pay off a lot of personal debt in a short amount of time. And so I really didn't put anything into savings. I just decided to pay off like 7 accounts, just personal accounts that I needed to pay off. And out of the 7 that I targeted, I was able to pay off 5 of those. So I say that to say, I didn't think I was going to move so soon, but that really, paying off those accounts really helped my credit rating. And so when I applied to move here, my credit rating was like had improved so much that I didn't have problems with the application process. So it was just getting the funds together and making sure that I could, get everything from the previous property and move everything up here. Moving day was really challenging, exhausting. I probably started at 5:30 officially, and I probably finished around midnight, simply because I did rent a van. So I'll go into the short story about that. I rented a van. I went to the U-Haul place to pick up the van. The van hadn't been returned from the previous users, and because it was the end of the month, everybody was moving. So I went to one U-Haul location, a different U-Haul location. I couldn't get anything as far as a van to help me move my things faster. So I ended up taking like three trips in my car to move everything. And then the next day I had to buy like shower curtain, rugs. I bought like a placeholder sofa for in the living room. Man, it was exhausting the past, week. So today makes a week that I've been here, in a new place. And so this weekend is going to be the first time where I can actually relax, take a deep breath and kind of take in where I am. So yeah, I think I'll be here for at least 11 months. That's my lease. And then after that, I'll see if I want to stay in this location, upgrade, because right now I'm renting out a studio apartment. And there's a 1-bedroom, obviously, available on this property. And I can upgrade to that next year, or stay here in the studio space, or move to a different property. It just depends on my finances. But for right now, going into 2026, I mean, I feel, gosh, I don't think it's sunken in yet, It's been something that I've wanted to do for about 5 years. So I didn't know how I was going to do it or afford it, because the rental properties, I mean, it's for the nicer ones, especially, they're more expensive. But like I said, I was working on my day job, working with the company 2 years, and Fortune 500 company. They made a position tailor made for what I was already doing, and they moved me officially into an actual department within the company. And I am no longer on the hourly wage. They moved me to salary and gave me a pretty significant pay raise. And I'm learning new software along with doing the same job I've been doing, the same job I was doing for 2 years. Tuesday was the end of my 90-day probation. And Tuesday was also my birthday, so it was crazy that way. So the 90-day probation is over with. One of my bosses, I have 2 bosses now. I had the same boss I had before, because I was just her assistant. Um, then they moved me to a different department. I have a boss there as well. Both of them were out today. So I was just covering for my initial boss, doing, my regular 8 to 5 duties and whatnot. And everything went smoothly. I am working from home full time now. So that's the other thing, that really pushed me to move out on my own as well as soon as I did, because I was home a lot more. And my roommates were becoming more and more of a distraction, just more and more of a distraction. So I was getting just to the point where I wanted to move. And then going back to my credit rating, because I had paid off so many things, my credit rating was it's the highest it's ever been, like, in my life. So I was able to get approved for the 6-week special they had going with this particular property, where you get the first 6 weeks free starting in the month of June. As long as I moved by June 15th, you would get 6 weeks free. And there is quite a few properties around the area that are offering these type of specials. And so I really felt like, God was telling me, okay, I know you planned on paying off the last 2 accounts and then moving in the fall, but this is a good window. So yeah, I went ahead and I ended up moving right away, And like I said, it was hectic at first because I didn't have time to go through all the numbers and how much is coming in, how much is going out. And then with my roommates, it was like what I paid, it included the water and the trash and the electricity and all that type stuff, right? But now everything is separate, and I'm also paying liability insurance here, stuff like that. So it's a lot of little things in the fine print, along with just it's more expensive to be on my own. Obviously, the rent is higher, and all the bills are separate and whatnot. But I do have the first month and a half, with no rent. And then obviously I'm going to go into, I have to look at utilities and stuff like that. So now with the studio, I'm a little up in the air where my studio space is going to be, because obviously this is a studio apartment, but they did a really good job with sectioning it off. Because normally you go to a studio, it's smaller than a 1-bedroom, of course. But usually when you open the front door, you can see the entire space because there's no walls. It's just one giant space, right? But with this particular studio, they sectioned everything off, right? So when you open the front door, you really don't see anything, because there's actual walls in here dividing everything up. So the only thing they left out is the dining room. So they sectioned off the space like it's a 1-bedroom. So I actually have a bedroom inside of the studio apartment. So there's the bedroom that's in front of me here, and then behind that is the bathroom. And then on this side of the hall, they have a full washer and dryer, not just the small, like the stackable washer and dryer, which I saw at a different property. Then there's a closet over there. Then there's the kitchen over here, and then I'm basically in a living room. So just the dining room, the space where the dining room would be, that's the part that's missing. And I was a little bummed about that. Um, but now that I'm in here, I realize that I don't eat in the dining room anyway. Like I never eat in the dining room anyway. I'm either in the living room or in the bedroom. Um, so yeah, everything is really laid out how I would like it to be. Um, and I guess the other thing that was on my list was the wood floors. They have that except for in the bedroom, unfortunately. It's full carpet in there, but that's the only thing. Like when I'm in a room that has full carpet and not just like area rugs, sometimes my allergies go crazy. And so, do I really want to put my office desk in there with the studio lighting and everything where there's full carpeting? Because when I first moved in, especially a few days ago, watery eyes, sneezing, I can just pick up all the dust, right? Now, I can just sense all the dust that was in the air from the carpet. So, a couple of nights ago, bought a vacuum. Um, I had a budget for how much I wanted to spend on the vacuum, and I definitely went over that budget. But vacuumed it out yesterday, or it was the day before, and it's better. But the carpet is really thick. It is a really comfortable, thick, you know, carpet. Like it's a nice carpet. But on the flip side, it's gonna hold a lot of dust. And so if I have to be in that room for hours, which I'm going to be in there for hours, working on the computer, photography, working on different lighting setups, all that, I can foresee that's going to be a problem, you know, which means that the only other space I would have is out here in the living room that's next to the kitchen, and it's not really where I wanted my desk or to set up a bunch of lighting. So I think I've decided on creating a hybrid of I'm going to set up the studio lights in that room. I'm going to set up my desk out here in the living room. And kind of go between the two depending on what I'm doing, because I don't want lights out here in the living room. But I don't want my desk in there in the bedroom, because I'm just saying it's going to be a problem. I worked in the bedroom with all the carpet one day this week on my day job, and it just was like I can just allergies start going crazy, eyes get all watery and irritated, and I'm like, yeah, I just moved my monitors and a couple tables out here so that, and I work like this for the rest of the week because the carpet is just, I can't, yeah. So that's what I think that I'm going to do. Now that messes up my plans on what I want to do with the living room, kind of, because I was thinking get like a TV stand, like a large TV stand, and maybe get a bigger TV because I already have like a 43-inch, and set it up with the lighting and plants and, you know, make it like an actual living room. But now that I have to work at my desk out here, how do I want to do that? So I'm kind of looking at different desks where I guess it's not as functional as I would like it to be. I actually want it stylistically to fit in the living room like it's supposed to be here. Am I going to find one like that that works? I don't know. I think I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me move my screens around. Let me find this page, because I was looking at it earlier today. Okay, here we go. And I'm on ASUS. So I'm on 3. All right, there we go. Now, do I have a lot of company over? No. No, I don't. I don't have a lot of company over. I don't even have a cat. Um so this is a lot of this space is like tailor made for me, just me. So, yeah, I can get my work done. There's no interruptions. Um it's just I like it. I like it. So this is Wayfair. I signed up for their professional business account, and so on certain items you get uh, discounts and whatnot on. So I've been looking at Office Desk, Computer Desk for I don't know how long, but they have so many things on here, right? It's crazy. Now, what I was going to do was I was going to wait to move until the fall to give me some time to save up for furniture, you know. Um, but I moved early, and so now I kind of have to piece together what am I going to buy first. Like on Tuesday, I had to buy a mattress. I bought the vacuum cleaner, obviously. So, and then I bought, like I said, the sofa. Um, but let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. Now, obviously, some of this stuff is pie in the sky. I'm not going to be able to afford it, but I'm just looking at the style. So let's go by price. Um, let's go high to low. So, like this desk here, which is ridiculous for over $4,000, but I I like it. I just do. Like stylistically, I like really nice things. Um, when I say really nice things, I mean like luxurious type things. And that's what got me in trouble before, especially in my younger days where I was overspending completely outside of my budget. And it was just too much, you know. So this time around, I am not doing that. I'm not overspending. I'm making sure I'm on budget with everything. And if I go over budget on a certain purchase, I know now how to make space, right? Um, and obviously, over the past 5 years, that's what I've learned quite a bit about. Is when I do overspend on something, how to adjust my finances and recover. I'll put it that way, recover. So yeah, I love this desk. Now, would I realistically get something like this? No, because it's too expensive, but that's my style, right? The only way I could afford this desk is if, or I should say when I get the business website going, I start going back into the promotions, I start creating new work and promoting that to galleries, design agencies, etc. Right? So that's what I'm looking forward to, right? But for right now, I don't want to say I'm buying a bunch of placeholders, but I kind of am buying a lot of placeholders and says, okay, this is for the budget that I have. This is what I can buy right. This is what I can buy right now. But obviously, I have a growing list of, you know, things that I really do want. Like this desk here is so nice. Just style, just the style. Um, it's really nice. And so what I was thinking, like that's a huge desk. It's over 70 inches wide. It's very nice. But the thing is, like, even if I could afford this, how would it fit in here? The way that I want. Um, so today I kind of went through a couple of visualizations trying to visualize, okay, how would the layout of the living room be? And then when I actually want to treat it like a real living room and just sit on the sofa and watch TV or whatever, like, do I have to move anything or transition anything? Like, how can I do the least amount of transitioning and still have it function like a normal living room? So I'm going through all of that. Um, just going through the visualization of all of that. But yeah, this is it's very nice. Very nice stuff. But yeah, that's about $3,800 right there, and it's on sale. Um, and in the past, what I would do is I would put this all on credit, and this time around, I'm not doing that. I'm going by the funds that I already have. Now, everything that I bought, mattress, vacuum, sofa, shower curtains, everything that I've bought so far, I put it all on credit so that I can get the cash back. But before the payments are due, before the due date, I'm going to pay everything off down to zero. So the credit card companies are not going to report a balance to the credit bureaus. I'm just going to clean slate everything and go back down to zero. And then as time goes by, I'll continue to do that. So yeah, it takes me a little longer to get everything, but I'm not going into debt again when I just got out of debt. So yeah, that's my thinking with all of this. But if I get more collaborations with the studio and sales go really well, then I can upgrade some things, including the sofa. I can upgrade some things, obviously. And again, I would put those on credit, but it wouldn't sit there on the credit card for months and months and months and months and months, right? So that's really what my strategy has been since March of this year. Just learning how to put things on credit, pay it off, rinse and repeat. But yeah, I love this desk. Wow. Now, color wise, I want white. But see, it raises up. Man, that's good. It's very long. It's like 94 and a half inches wide, the width on it. So that's really good. I measured it, the space that I have earlier. I would like the desk part, the tabletop part of it, to be about 80 to 85 inches. I don't know if you want to say wide or long, but that's how much space that I want to sit. The really large television I have, and then I've got the 27-inch monitor, and then my tablet and all the stuff I usually have sitting around the desk. So I'm thinking 80 to 85 inches, in width. And if it's an L shape, the L would have to be up against that wall there. and then I would push it all the way up against the wall and have it come out this way. Because there's a carve out of this wall in front of me to where I can see into my other room, right? And they have a TV on a swivel. The TV I really don't like because it's like a 1080p television, which I tried to get them to take it down off the swivel mount. So they have a carved out place in the wall, and so I can see the TV on the mount on both sides. So if I'm in the living room, I can spin the TV out and watch the television this way. And then when I go into the bedroom, I can just spin the TV back around and see it from there, which is really a great idea. Except again, the TV's a 1080p, and I told the property manager that I I have 4K monitors, 4K television. So when you go from 4K and then you go back down to 1080p, it's like, no, this is not going to work. So I can't put my 4K TV in that gap and have it spin. So I can't mess with it. I did ask them to upgrade it, like if they're gonna, because they have all the unit apartments that come with the television. So I'm like, okay, great, if you guys want to do that. And I do like the idea of you can spin the television like that or rotate it, but you gotta upgrade the television to 4K, at least 4K, because that's what a lot of people are using right now, watching television and whatnot on right now. So I was told that they're gonna look into that. But I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that's my thinking, is have a desk that long. But yeah, this is really nice. But even if I had the money for this, I still wouldn't buy it because it's not white. The thing about where I'm at now is the floor. It's not a dark gray, but it's like a lighter charcoal color. So here's the thing. If you have a dark floor throughout your space and you put really dark furniture on top of it, it's gonna make your room look smaller. It's gonna make your space look smaller. So if you're in a smaller space like me, you don't want a bunch of giant pieces of dark furniture, because they're just the color being darker, it's gonna make the room look smaller. So the sofa that I have now, it's white. And the desk that I want, I would like it to be white, because it's gonna be really big. And again, if it's darker, it's just gonna make the room feel congested, like really small. So yeah, and I've gone through all this stuff before. Like one of the last places where I lived, and I had roommates there as well, where I had all these, my desk was like a darker brown color. Gosh, I can't remember the name. It was espresso tone wood, and it was just dark, so it just felt like the room was smaller. So I started switching out the darker pieces to white or lighter pieces of furniture and whatnot, and it really helped the space feel like it was more opened up. And so that's where my logic comes from with that. And with that said, The pieces that I really want are white. Um, like this is okay. See, it has the little this platform or it raises up in one spot, but I wouldn't be able to use this because my 27-inch monitor that's for color calibration is extremely heavy. Like for a 27-inch monitor, it's really heavy. So that would not support the weight of my color calibrated monitor. And then for $919, it's a lot, you know, for this desk. Um, so you see the desk, like if when it's a darker color, it just feels to me like it takes up a lot of, like it takes up more space. Like if you go with the lighter color, it's like more that just that area feels more open to me, you know. And I know these are two different rooms. Well, they use different colors in this room, but I mean that's how I'm looking at it. Oh, see the black, or this is the espresso oak. So this is kind of similar to what I had before. It just looks like a big, heavy piece of furniture. That's what it looks like. It looks like a really big, heavy piece of furniture. So I'm thinking, you know what? I want something that's it can still take up a lot of room, but it's gotta feel lighter, you know. It just does. It has to feel lighter. And then the other thing too is let me go back to one. My kitchen, I think I can show you guys from here. Hold on. You guys see this? Yes, the cabinets are espresso. Are pretty close to it. So the cabinets are like this in the kitchen, and in the bathroom there's actually a large, and it goes all the way up to the ceiling. Uh just like a very it's one door on the bottom, one at the top, and it goes to the ceiling like that. Um but yeah, same color, like that dark kind of espresso color. So I want everything else to be lighter, you know. So in the bathroom, I put uh, white carpet, like pieces, two small um, sections of white carpet in there, and that helps kind of not make that spaces, seem small. But yeah, that's what I'm going with. So okay. So as far as what I can actually afford, um technically I would say I would like to spend $300 on a desk. I think that would be my cap. But then earlier today I saw this one and I'm like, um I like it, but the problem is, again, it's gonna be out in the living room. I'm thinking, um, that's not gonna work just because it's that U shaped and it'll be sticking out in the middle of the floor. So I'm thinking that if I can only have the end piece coming out and that's all the way up against the wall, that's gonna create that L shape. So basically, this extension here can be up against that wall. Everything else has to be straight across because I don't want it coming out into the middle of the living room. That'll just look too weird. Yeah, that's my thinking. But I do like the style of this. It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and it's the lift. You can raise this up. It looks like, yeah. So it's very nice, very nice. It just won't. It for. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put it out here. Like if I was putting it in the room, in the bedroom, I can probably make that work. Yeah. Um. But yeah, that's definitely over how much I want to spend. Now this one is okay because I don't like the brown. Like down here, I like the table, the top of the desk. Like it's wide, it's deep. Like there's a lot of space there. But this part, oh my gosh, that's an eyesore. I I don't know what to tell you. It's bad. Now they have another color, but it's this is the color of my floor, to be honest. Like the wood flooring in here, that's the color of the wood flooring. So if I actually bought this, I mean, it would just look like the floor merges into my desk, and I don't want that either. But I do like that this one is very sturdy looking, very sturdy desk. So there's that. I don't mind the color. It's just it's too close to the color that's on the floor throughout the studio. That's 418. It's not too bad. Now this one I like it. Almost love it. It's missing the that the slider you put your keyboard on there and it slides in and out from under the top part here. It doesn't have that, and I actually have not had that on this table for well over a year. But I'm thinking that on my new desk I would like to have that. But it's on sale. It's under what, 270. So by the time you put in taxes, depending on shipping, it's gonna be around my $300 budget. Um, Obviously it's white. This part here that comes out, that would be up against the wall, so it wouldn't intrude on the living room space like where your coffee table would go. And then this part, I like the design. This part in here, it seems like you can slide this table here in this groove. I don't know how that would work, but that's just what it looks like. Like you can slide it. Huh. Anyway, very simple design, more contemporary, bit of a minimalistic kind of approach, but it's got some storage there. And in terms of style, I think it looks good. And I can put two monitors up here. And then in this the L part here that comes out, my printer has to go somewhere. Um, my printer has to go somewhere. And then this drawer, that would be for storage, of course. So I feel like there's enough here. Um, that this will work. Now, in terms of length, it's not as long as I would like it to be, but because it's like 70 and a half inches. So it's about a foot shorter than I would like, but I think that would work. Because the 43-inch would go here on the end, the 27-inch would be here. My printer would be either up here on the top or down here on one of these shelf spaces. So I think that will work. I think that will work. The only thing I'm a little leery about is it saying that the weight up here, the maximum weight is 44 pounds. I might be pushing that. I might push that a little bit. But I think it should be fine. But yeah, I think out of the ones that I can afford, that would be my first choice. This is 260, right? But is the white gone? Or wait a minute, where is it? Beige, black, brown, gray, navy. I don't know what they mean by that one. Okay, so the white is not gone. It's a little, I don't want to say old fashioned, but it's not as contemporary as I would like. It's got more storage, obviously. It's got more space on this side where the L comes out, but I don't know. I just stylistically, it's kind of bland to me. Now it's got 59 here, 59 here in terms of how wide it is. I do like the extra storage space, that's for sure. And because of how it's constructed, I think it can hold more weight. But I'm only going to need that on one side because I'll probably have both monitors side by side. That's a good question. I would have a 43 and a 27 side by side initially, and then I'm thinking about, well, at some point I'm gonna get another monitor, and then the 43-inch I'm probably just gonna use that as it is as a television. Yeah, that's 70 inches across. I can have a little bit of, like, it can hang, the TV can come off the side here, but that's going to be a little bit tighter to have them side by side because now the monitors are separate. So even when I'm working in the daytime, it's kind of like tiring to look that far back over, you know. So if I had a monitor on this side, a monitor here, and that's just too much turning of my head, you know. And what else is there? Yeah, just design. It can be a little, more conservative. Now this part there, that is nice to have the plugs there. Well, I take that back. No, because that will bother me if I see the plug sticking up out the desk like that. That would bother me. Sorry, I take that back. That would bother me. It would. Um. All right. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh. If we're gonna stick with white, this is 78 inches width. Very simple, very straightforward. And then I'm thinking, if it's in the living room, which it'll probably be, this looks more like a normal piece of furniture that would go in the living room, right? So that was my thinking with this one. And again, it's a lot closer to the 80 to 85 inch, in width that I'm looking for. Stylistically, I think it would fit, pretty well. The only thing that I'd be bummed about is storage. I would probably have to get a separate piece of furniture on the side to store papers and folders and all that type of stuff, right? Yeah, but just I feel like it would fit in a living room better. Yeah, I'm just trying to visualize like how it would look in here. So anyway, it's well under my $300 budget. Yeah, and then there's a black one, of course. You see how it goes black? It looks like a really heavy piece of furniture. It just the light just gets all sucked into it. It looks like a really heavy piece of furniture. When you go white and the light just bounces off, right? It doesn't turn into like a black hole or something, It's still a big piece of furniture, but it just isn't, to me, it doesn't feel like it's taking up a lot of space. I guess it's like perception, Yeah. So that's a possibility for sure. I do like this one, but I'm basically taking it off the list because the color, that color will not work. Yeah, the color won't work. And then they have a green, which I definitely don't like that light green color. They have black, which I love the black, but again, runs into the same problem of it just pulls in too much light, and comes across as a heavier piece of furniture. But the design of it, very good. Very good. Now, in this particular interior, you notice that the wood floor is a lot lighter. So if you got something, your wood floors are like a light grayish color, or it's like a beige, tan, something like that, like a lighter color, then it's not that bad. When you put something really, a large piece of furniture is darker. But for me, it's like I always go opposite to what the base is. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This particular one here is out of stock, but I don't think I would go in that direction anyway. So This one, I found two of them. I think they're the same. I don't know why the prices are a little bit different, but the only thing I don't like is this drawer in here. Let me see if I can. This drawer, I it's got like a black panel on the front that I don't know why it's driving me crazy, but it bothers me. It bothers me. Um, but overall, it's got a lot of elements that I like. See how it's got like a platform up here. That part of it I like. Um, yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's just, uh, I like this. It's got extra storage on it for sure. Um, Gosh, those monitors, like whenever there's a platform like this with monitors on it, I don't know if they will hold my monitor because of how heavy it is. Like I need something more sturdy, more solid to hold this monitor. Um and then the width is 62.02 or 61.02. It's a little, yeah, that's quite a bit smaller than I was hoping for. Yeah. It's short. So yeah, if I can at least get 70 inches wide, on the width for that dimension, I think that's like minimum for what I'm looking for. So and then this one was the same as the other one above, like just a long table, right? But this one was more straightforward in terms of design. Um, Let me see. There's black, brown, yuck. I actually don't mind that as much. It's just stylistically it doesn't work, especially for in here. This is on the fence kind of with that. No, not that one. Okay, so we got walnut and white. No. Okay, so that's all white. This is white, black. That's actually not too bad because the black frame is so thin, but I would still go with the all white. And then there's white and, oh no. It says white and gold, but that's, oh my gosh. No. So yeah, I would go all white for me. And I don't know if I can get this to expand. I don't think I can. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little too plain with the legs. It's just flat legs, you know. It's not terrible, but it's like very just plain. But the width, 78.8-inch width. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I will continue to look. I love this one. It's obviously it's way too small, but just the style of it, I love that. The style. I don't even know what the width is on this thing. I really don't. It is, what's that, 42? Yeah, 42 inches wide. But you see that top part, the, the desktop, that panel can hold 240 pounds. That's impressive. But you really can't fit too much up there, you know. Yeah, it looks very nice. Very nice. I wouldn't say it's worth $164 compared to the other desks that we've looked at, but you know, and that color, no, wouldn't do that. This one's low stock, but I also put it here because I was thinking about, again, this is gonna be in the living room, so I don't want it to look too much just out of place. So we got black, gray, Sonoma oak. I can't, like, what color is this? It seems like it has a lot of yellow in it to me. And then this is white Sonoma oak, which I like it better. I just, that oak color, I don't know what to do with that. But in terms of design, I like the design. I don't know how far across, like how wide, I don't know how wide this is. The concrete gray, no. The white, obviously, of course, that's going to be out of stock. High gloss gray, it still looks blah. High gloss white. It says high gloss white, but that's black for sure. Yeah. So let me see if I can find the dimensions. I don't know centimeters. It says 200 centimeters. We would have to do a conversion on that one for sure. Yeah, it says centimeters. Hold on. Okay. I just want to make sure I can find this. So, centimeters to inches. 1 centimeter is 0.39 inches. If we have 200, whoa, 78.7402. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's very not bad. Now, it doesn't have any drawers on this. I wouldn't really say this is storage. I like how they have the boxes down here. That's an idea. You can kind of pick certain colors. Like if you use boxes like that, you can pick certain colors that you want to use to put there. But in terms of just the design, the style of it, I like it. And then it's $140, well within budget. It's just, I would want the one that's all white. And I don't know when this would be back in stock. I do have to say that the one that's all white, it doesn't look as interesting as the one that's mixed. between the white and the Sonoma oak. Like this looks more interesting. The white, just completely white. It looks a little. It looks a little bit more on the plain side. So yeah, and I don't like that one either. And then the black, like you can't even see the details in the photo. You know. Hmm. Yeah, and the Sonoma oak color, it would not match with anything in here at all. Just it wouldn't match at all. It's like, oh my gosh. So I think that I okay. I would have to say this is in first place. This one here, as far as what I would choose or pick to buy. Um, it's like by the time it taxes shipping, it'll be right at my budget of 300. And then the other one I would have to say is this one. It's just a straight across table. It's just like I said, the only thing that bothers me is the storage. There's no storage. Um which is a bummer. So I think out of all of them, I like this one the best. It just feels it just feels right to me. Now, I would buy this now, but I am gonna wait until I find out what happens tomorrow because I'm taking my car to get uh, checked. I'm pretty sure the brakes need to be changed. So if it's just the front axle, the back axle, both, I'm not sure. So they might charge me like something crazy. And then in the afternoon, that's tomorrow morning. So the afternoon, I'm also getting the oil change, which is just normal getting the oil changed. But depending on how bad it is with the brakes, getting the brakes changed out, um, I will see uh, how much of my funds I have left. Because I don't want to go too overboard right now. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do between in the morning and tomorrow afternoon is get some work done on my car. And then the car, I know the car that I want to upgrade to, but I'm not going to upgrade right now because that means that insurance goes up, car payments go up. So I'm going to hold off and get an idea of what my bills are going to look like in terms of the water bill, electricity bill, and then I have to factor in the liability insurance for the studio, and then obviously the rent's gonna, from what I used to pay, the rent's going up. So I'm gonna factor everything in and make sure that I'm well within my budget when I'm paying for everything. So I'm gonna wait on the car. Like I said, the 2026 models are gonna be out probably in the fall. Like, and then I want a Mazda. So they are I don't want to say they're dragging their feet, but they're not like very forthcoming on when the 2026s are going to come out. I didn't take a test drive, but I got into the 2025 Model 3 or Mazda 3, and I love everything except for the infotainment screen. It's just baby small. I think it's like an 8.3, 8.8 inch screen. I don't need something giant because the highest trim of the Mazda 3 has like a 10.2 inch screen, and that's fine. But I don't want to have to go up to the highest trim just for a larger screen. Because also on the highest trim, they go all-wheel drive, turbocharged engine, which I don't need. I do like the Bose sound system that's on the highest trim, but that particular trim is like an extra $10,000, which is just like no. So, so yeah, let me see if I can pull this up really quick before I go, because I'm already over the hour mark. Hold on. Well, I'll show you guys the trims first, what I'm talking about. No, I don't need all the pop-ups. Just... Okay, I'm not blocking the screen, am I? Yeah, so it took me, because I'm not very knowledgeable on cars, to be honest. I'm not. So the past 4 months or so, I've been looking at car mechanic reviews and people who are experts with the cars and stuff. And they all basically say the same thing or come to the same conclusion that you have in terms of reliability. You've got Toyota, Honda, Mazda. I think they're all Japanese. I know good and well Mazda's Japanese. So they're like by Asian or specifically by Japanese cars for reliability. So out of those three, I like the Mazda 3. And when I went to the dealership, I mean, the salesman was trying to get me to buy an SUV. A lot of people are buying SUVs. Like, it feels like 75% of the people are buying SUVs. But I don't want an SUV. It's just too much, too clunky. I don't need all that, right? So I would say, and I'll try to go through this pretty quickly, is that this is the base model. It's fine, but it's kind of plain interior, right? Then you have the Select Sport, which you get the darkened caps, wheel hubcaps. So you got the regular, and then you have the Sport. The Sport has the black hubcaps. So I'm like, okay, I can go with black hubcaps. So you go up to the next trim, and you have the Preferred, which that's what I want in terms of interior, price, all of that. But then they take the black hubcaps away. Oh, and it also has a sunroof. Like these two, there's no sunroof. So base model, Select Sport, you don't get a sunroof. I'm like, I want non-negotiable a sunroof. So you have to go Preferred, and they finally include, it says power sliding glass moonroof, right? So there's that. But they took the black hubcaps away. So then to get the black hubcaps back, you have to go to the carbon edition. What that means, like I don't know. But you do get the black hubcaps. The problem with the carbon edition, it only comes in one color, which I don't understand for the life of me. It only comes in one color. So if you don't like this, they call it polymetal gray metallic. I want black. I want the car to come in black exterior. The interior, I want it the black leatherette. So even if I upgrade to the carbon edition, it doesn't come with the jet. I think it's like it's called mica black or something like that. It doesn't come in that, right? It has the black wheels, but not the car is not painted black. It's just that gray metallic color. Okay. Then you go above that, you have the turbo engine, which again I don't need, and at this point it starts at 32,000, a little over that. It has the turbo engine. It only comes in this one color, which is a zircon sand metallic paint, which I don't like. Oh, and the other problem with the carbon edition is the interior comes in red. It just comes in red. So even if you can swallow having the polymetal gray metallic color on the exterior, the interior is red. That is just absolutely no. And so that's out. This one only comes in zircon sand metallic paint. It does have the dark hubcaps, right? But yeah, the color, the sand metallic, I don't like it. Anyway, and if you really want to spend like spare no expense on a compact sedan, you go with the Turbo Premium Plus. You got turbocharged engine, all-wheel drive, the Bose audio system, which is top of the line, 12 speaker. I believe it only comes in this one color. I don't know which color this is, but I believe it only comes in this one color. It doesn't come in black. The interior is a lot nicer on this one. It's not black interior, but it's really nice. But again, it's $36,000 for a compact sedan. So yeah, that's too much. So I figure, okay, I'm gonna stay sub 30,000 and get this one. That's where I'm at. That's where I am. So the Mazda is not the most spacious, but I'm again party of one, so I can lean more towards style than how much cargo space the car has. Let me see if I can find an interior really quick. I think there's one here. Hold on. Okay, so I'm looking at the preferred. It's like the red, that's the preferred. This one over here, I can't tell what color that is, but it's a preferred. So that's the trim I'm looking for. This is the premium, and again, I think it only comes in this one color, which is annoying. So what I'm hoping is that Mazda loosens up on their restrictions, like paint color restrictions and all that stuff, like loosen up on that stuff. But yeah, if you want the 10.3 inch screen, the larger screen for the infotainment center, it's only in the top two, right? It's only in the top two trims. you would have to go carbon turbo or the the turbo premium plus. So you're either looking at over 32,000 just for the larger screen for the infotainment system, or you're looking at starting at $36,000 for that. And of course, the Bose audio system only comes in the premium plus trim. So yeah. So why is all this important to me for the studio? Is because photography, I have to go out, I have to drive. Like whenever I go to the Jacksonville Zoo, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine, Volano Beach, Fernandina Beach, wherever, I gotta drive. So I want something that's style and reliability combination. Again, Toyota is up there, but I don't like how Toyota, builds, no, not builds their cars, but I don't want a hybrid. I don't want a hybrid. And with Honda, I just don't like the look, like of the Honda Civic. Like I just don't like the look of it. So I ended up going with Mazda. And if you go with the interior, like compare interiors of the cars, the Mazda seems like they are head and shoulders above Toyota and Honda, to be honest. But their infotainment screen is just really like, it needs help. It needs to be larger for sure. But anyway, see, this is the black leatherette that I like. Very nice. Like this, that's the inside. See, that's that screen. I don't know, you guys can see this. It's really small. I'm sorry, that 8.8-inch screen. But it bothers me that much, It bothers me that much. So interior, absolutely love, but I would say that screen has the steering wheel. It's got 2 real gauges, not just the monitors up there for the console. Yeah, it's I like it. There's a sunroof, but the interior is my favorite. Like I just like the quality of the material in the interior. Is very nice. It's just that, Lord have mercy, they got to do something with that screen. And I don't think that it's a touch screen either, unless you use like Apple CarPlay or something. You have to use the rotary dial, which I don't mind that because they have the screen so far away. If it was a touch screen, you don't want to keep reaching all the way out there to change something. So yeah, they kind of put us in a corner here. But anyway, I like how it looks. So I'm hoping that for the 2026 model that they, you know, like from the side view, they can kind of make it more streamlined. To me, it looks kind of clunky or chunky in here. I like the front, but like in the middle towards the back, it kind of looks kind of clunky. But other than that, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, this is not the solid black interior, but And see the screen? The screen is bigger. And I know it's like nitpicking, but when you when you sit in it's noticeable, like going from an 8.8 to I think it's a 10.3. It's just noticeable. Like give us a bigger screen. So I'm hearing whispers that they've made improvements on the 2026 models, but I don't know. Um, yeah, here it is. It's a 10.3. Gosh, and it's an LCD monitor. Yeah, so LCD monitors are like at the bottom of monitor types these days in 2025. So I don't know why they're still using LCD. But anyway, I would prefer the 10.3 monitor opposed to, I think it's like an 8.8 monitor. Let me check it. Let me check it really quick. I don't know if they're going to do that though. I have no idea. Yeah, it's an 8.8 inch LCD monitor in the preferred. And you drop from 12 speakers to 6 speakers in there. So yeah. And what's probably going to have to, what's not have to happen, what's probably going to happen is that I'm going to have to, that I'm going to order my car. Because you can have it ordered and have like special accessories and stuff on there. I don't know. It depends on, gosh, I cannot stand that color. It depends. It depends on like my credit, like what I'll be able to afford. So I think I'm settled now on this one being what I will order. And like I said, I will see how it goes tomorrow in terms of for the car I have right now, whatever the repairs are, if the repairs aren't too much, then I'll go ahead and order the desk. If the repairs are like, whoa, then I'm gonna have to hold off and wait to order the desk. But it'll be somewhere in there. It'll be between these two, I think. But I think, like I said before, I'm leaning towards this one that's like $270. It's not bad. It's not bad. But anyway, so that's where I am. Oh wow. So I went long today, but hopefully you guys have a gist of where I'm at, what's going on, and where I'm heading in the future. And like I've said before, the website is still coming along, but as I said before, it's going to be a while before I have everything uploaded here. And if you guys want to keep up with the progress, you would just pick an image. They have the keywords included So just pick something generic like wall art down here. So you click on wall art, and there's the number. Right now I've got 73 photographs in there right now. So, and even for the most part with all those, like 80% of them still don't have all of the available products added onto them. But at this point, I'm just trying to get all of the work on here. I have about 30 more that are uploaded, but I'm going to have to make sure I fine tune the description, the keywords, the images, and then slowly but surely add them to, or make them live, because now they're in like the draft mode. But I'm going to have to add them live onto the website. And yeah, but everything looks good right now. It's just taking a long time to upload them. And then I had to stop everything just to move into a new location. So that also threw off my progress. But everything looks good. The SEO is starting to come along, but I'm gonna have to get well over 150 prints on here before the SEO starts to pick up. And obviously I have to get back into posting on my social media accounts, and then get into marketing. Now, the other thing I'm having trouble with is, for some reason, I'm having trouble linking with my social media accounts like I did before. So, for example, Pinterest is still not connecting correctly, and I'm not sure why not. Because as soon as I post them on the Shopify site, it's supposed to load automatically to Pinterest, but it's not doing that. And Pinterest keeps kicking back my catalog, which is the inventory. So I have to figure out what's going on there after I get the car worked on tomorrow. I'll be back here in the evening to obviously upload more work, but also see what's going on with the catalog. TikTok is doing the same thing, having a hard time connecting to the catalog. So it's gotten more complex to sync the website with the social media profiles, but I'll have to figure it out. I'll definitely have to figure it out. But the work that's on here right now, everything looks good. It's just I need a lot more on here. And like I said, it's going to be, when everything's done, it's going to be around between 200 and 250, 200 to 250 prints available. And there, in terms of products, it's going to be between 14 to 17 different products. Or I should say like 12 to 14 different products. But I guess I'll leave you guys with the example, the showcase. Let's see if everything's here. Yeah. So for example, koi. You have the interior, the main image, and then there's like a product breakdown of each available option. So then buyers have an idea of what they're ordering or what they're getting. So again, I have to do this for well over 200 prints. And so between uploading everything, adding all the SEO, adding all the images to each product, and working around my full-time day job schedule, it's just taking me a while to do. But now that I'm settled into the new place, and this weekend I can start getting more rest, because last weekend I was just moving. I will hopefully get back on track. And I'm thinking that today is June 6th. I'm thinking by the middle of July, I would like to have all this stuff wrapped up. I really would like to have all these things wrapped up. So going into August, or what I would call the fall, I can focus on other things. And just everything that's here is just going to be promoted. So now the banner up at the top, up here, the black banner, I'm just leaving you guys updates about where I'm at. So like it says up here, more artwork added to series New York City. That's where my focus is right now. And then I've got images ready to complete for the water series. And again, I'll go through the fine print of, like it says, from $60. Like all of these with from, and then they have a price there. That means that section, all of the artwork available is there, right? When you get down here to this says in the works, that means that some of the prints are there, but not all of them, right? And then when you have stuff like series yellow, it says coming soon. That means that when you click on it, there's nothing in there, right? So I have to start adding something in there. But if it has in the works, that means when you click on it, some of the prints will be available, just not all of them. So that's what I'm going to work on this weekend, especially Saturday evening going into Sunday, is adding the rest of these things, the rest of the prints to these series. And again, it looks good so far. It looks good so far. So once everything is added, all the prints are added to New York, I'm going to change the text to say it'll be from $50 or from $60, whatever the lowest price point is. It'll be from that dollar amount, and then I'll move to the next series. Now, as far as what I've uploaded already, all of New York City's been uploaded, all of water has been uploaded, and yellow has been uploaded. So I'm going to try to get those, if nothing else, get those done this weekend, and then move on to Volano Beach, and then there's Jack's Beach, Nemesis, and just keep moving on until I get to the collections, which is just general architecture, automobiles, etc. So there's that. But everything looks great. Everything looks great. And I am trying to get to, like, whenever you guys send me emails about the website, just keeping up with emails and making sure I answer any questions that you guys send me. And then The blog is back on this website, so this will also help with search engine optimization. But obviously, I haven't posted on this in a year. This is more than that, October 26, 2023. So this can be another way for me to let you all know my progress and what I'm doing. So, but yeah, I love the look of the website. I mean, everything looks good. It's just getting everything connected, reconnected to it. So, all right, that's all I have. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.